Alright, let's talk today about feeding the world in 2050 and what it will take. We believe that we need better ways to irrigate crops in 2050. And right here is one system that is used widely throughout the country and throughout many countries. This is an irrigation reel, and the irrigation reel, it provides water to this irrigation gun and pulls it through the field. This irrigation gun will shoot water out of it, and it will rotate. It will rotate as such to go back and forth and spread the water throughout the field. Now what this does though is it creates a big stream that goes about 30 feet wide, and this stream will land at very concentrated and the very minimal amounts of water will come down throughout the field. At the very end of the gun and at the base of the gun where water always leaks, you can't get around that. There will always be water leaks and there'll be water running through the field along that hose. That water will create runoff, it'll create erosion, the ground will be fully saturated very quickly, and then at the end of the path that the water travels, it will be splashing on the ground really hard, and it tends to create a lot of water pressure, saturates the water really quickly, same situation, a lot of runoff, a lot of erosion. That'll carry fertilizer out of the field, it carries your chemicals, your herbicides, it carries everything out of the field, and we don't need that. This system is very outdated. We can upgrade our system many times just by swapping to what's in this little roll down here. This little roll here, it contains what is called drip tape. And this is a tube, and it goes throughout your crops. It goes alongside the roots throughout the distance of the rows. And what you do is you hook it up to these blue hoses, which is in under that pile of snow over there. And what you do is whenever you pump water through this, there are tiny little holes in it. Right there's one. I don't think you can quite see it, but there are tiny little notches in this. Maybe, let's see. Yeah, you can see that little notch in between my fingers right there. And it drips out of those notches throughout the length of the field. Now what this does is it provides a very controlled way of irrigating your crops. And whenever you are able to control that irrigation and you're putting the water right at the base of the plant, it goes straight into the root system. There's much less erosion, and it makes a lot of contributions to the quality of the soil. You can cover this up with plastic and put your plants in the plastic so that you can have virtually no weeds within the system. This will increase your yield many times over. If you aren't losing fertilizer, aren't losing your herbicides, aren't losing your pesticides through that system of irrigation, because you're using this system of irrigation, you are increasing your yield many times over. Alright, we're done. Right here is as good a place as any to talk about what we need to do to save the world in 50-50. We need to shift people's diets. If you look at this field right here, see it goes all the way from the silo over there, all the way to the tree line, all the way to the river, and all the way to where we just were. The irrigation reel is right over there. This is 7 acres. We have 2 crops of 7 acres just for corn, and we feed 14 acres worth of corn every year just to our cattle, and that produces enough beef probably to feed about 7,000 people. That sounds like a lot whenever you're thinking it's just 14 acres. But then whenever you count the amount of hay that we feed about 30 acres of hay. And then we pasture our cattle over the summer on about 250 to 300 acres. And that adds up. So now we're at 300, 400 acres just to feed a few thousand people. Now if we can put this in crops, that the flat part that starts right there and goes all the way up through there, just on that last little stretch right there, we produced enough crops last year on vegetables to probably feed about 10,000 people for a year. This isn't just for a day, this is for a year. And compared to the amount of land that it takes to produce beef for that much, it's just not feasible to have such meat-rich diets anymore. That is a thing of the past with so many people. Thank you for your time. Thank you for listening to me. Y'all have a great day and God bless.